Welcome to the Science of Getting Rich for Women podcast, where we unlock the secrets to wealth and prosperity. I'm your host, Jessica Marie, a radical money coach.
And I'm Amy Bell, master designer, brand consultant, and founder of White Lightning Communications.
Together, we'll dive deep into the scientific principles of wealth outlined in the Science of Getting Rich, ensuring financial abundance with mathematical certainty.
Join us for real, empowering conversations about money, wealth, and the mindset shifts needed for true prosperity.
Whether you're ready to rise up or already on your journey to riches, tune in weekly for insights that will elevate your wealth consciousness.
Boom. We did it.
We did it right.
Happy Friday, Amy.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for that. It's been a week, my friend. It's been a week.
Oh. I know it has. And I always look forward to this time of the week when we can just reconnect and dig into the science so that we can elevate our wealth consciousness.
I love that.
I know.
It sounds so epic when you are speaking, and I'm like, yes, this is it. This is Friday. So
good.
we're talking about efficient action this week. And I'll tell you, I've taken some efficient action and it's been good.
Oh my gosh. Now you've got me curious about what you're referring to. You know, I got to say that this chapter has been actually this time around, it's growing on me, but historically, when I first read it, it was my least favorite because it stung a little bit. You know, there's some triggering, like really impactful, bold statements in there. And it really makes you reflect on your life and the way you operate, how you do things. And, you know, if you are doing things in an inefficient manner, he basically says, you know, it's a failure. He's very black and white about efficient actions.
Well, I think a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, will at the end of the day go, I was so busy, but I had no idea what I did. So they're just unconsciously busying themselves throughout the day. I've done it. I mean, I have a to-do list and nothing on that to-do list gets done. So but I am busy and I'm being like dragged. So this is that law of cause and effect. Like, do I want to have the effect or be the cause, right? Of what I'm doing in the day. Intentional planning the day and sticking to that plan is what he's talking about, doing efficient action in your business, taking efficient steps. That's why my girlfriend is all about efficiency, productivity. She's an Excel genius. You know, she's got everything all out, charts and stuff. If she's got to do it once, if she's got to do it twice, it's got a system created for it, right? And that's efficient.
Yeah. You know, this book is all about the science of getting rich. And in this chapter, he speaks about efficient action and how it is directly connected to the science of getting rich. I'll start by sharing what he writes in this chapter because it's really going to illustrate what he means by this efficient action. He says, you can advance only by being larger than your present place. And no woman is larger than her present place who leaves undone any of the work pertaining to that place. The world is advanced only by those who more than fill their places. If no woman quite filled her present place, you can see that there must be a going backward in everything. And those who do not fill their present place are dead weight upon society, government, commerce, and industry. They must be carried along by others at a great expense. The progress of the world is held back only by those who do not fill the places they are holding. And no society could ever advance if every woman, or every person for that matter, was smaller than their place. Social evolution is guided by the law of physical and mental evolution. In the animal world, evolution is caused by an excess of life. He says when an organism has more life than can be expressed in the function of its own plane, it develops the organs of a higher plane and a new species is created. There would never have been new species had there not been organisms that more than fill their places. The law is exactly the same for you. Your getting rich depends upon your applying this principle to your affairs.
Ouch.
I love how he brings it down to a science.
Long-winded way of saying, don't be lazy. Right? Like very PC of him to say that. But basically, get off your ass and start doing something efficiently.
Yeah. It really makes sense when you think about it. Because if you are going about your day in an inefficient manner, you're not succeeding. You're not going past what you already know you can do. And the whole idea of growth and expansion and getting rich, by the way, is about moving past where you already are, what you already know how to do. Right?
Yeah. Sorry.
So
your cue, Amy. Speak up. No, it's just busy work, and it makes you feel like you're being productive, but you're not really being productive if you look back, if your surroundings are not what you want them to be. So, in sales, you have to make those calls. You have to do the follow-ups. You have to, say what you're going to do. And a lot of times, I have made promises that I have not kept, or I've had to, I've fallen behind in something and I have to scramble to catch up. Like, I'm no stranger to working till 2 or 3 in the morning. But that's also another thing he's talking about. Like, don't try and do everything in the week in one day and get that done, right? So it's about a boundary of, I'm going to do as much work as I can in this work period. I'm going to do it as efficiently as I can in this work period and not sacrifice my relationships with my family or friends or self-care just because I have to keep working because I'm not doing it efficiently.
Great point, Amy. He says it's really not about the number of things you do, but the efficiency of each separate action that counts. So it doesn't matter how many things you're doing in a day. In fact, he even says, do not rush and try to do more things in a day than can be done. That's not efficient action. Efficient action is doing everything that you can do in that day in the most efficient manner. So don't rush. Don't stress. That's not what he's talking about. Just do everything you can in the most efficient manner in that day. And then that whole entire day will be a success. And if you compound all of these efficient days on top of each other, they compound and you start to get results. You more than fill your place. And as a result, you must get rich. And, I wanted to bring up something because I like this point he says here. He says, you cannot foresee the results of even the most trivial act. You do not know the workings of all the forces that have been set moving on your behalf. Much may be depending on your doing one simple act. It may be the very thing that is to open the door of opportunity to great new possibilities. You can never know all the combinations that supreme intelligence is making for you in the world of things and of human affairs. Your neglect or failure to do one small thing may cause a long delay in you getting what you want. I'm going to share with you a story that is going to illustrate this perfectly. I know a woman who had been thinking about selling her vintage Corvette. And she had been thinking about selling it because she really didn't use it, and it was just kind of sitting there. And she really desired the money to use for something else. And so she had been thinking about it and thinking about it. And of course, as you think about things, you are impressing, your mental image onto the formless substance, which causes the creation of things. I couldn't believe when I heard this story. It blew my mind. So she had been thinking about this for weeks, maybe even months. And then all of a sudden one day her husband says to her, "Honey, let's go for a drive in the old vet." And she says, "Okay, what the heck?" So they go for a drive, in the Corvette, top down. They're enjoying a sunny day, and it's great. All of a sudden they notice that somebody is following them. They pull into, I don't know, a store or a gas station, and this car follows behind them, stops and gets out and asks them, "Hey, do you want to sell your car?" Like,
oh my God, that's awesome.
Listen. He says, like, I just love your car. It's like 70s vet. It's gold. I love your car. Like, I want to buy your car. Like, what's your price? How can that, like, can you just, like, that's just magical, first of all. Like, how rare is something like that to happen? Now, they found out that this man was a physician. He had money and he was serious. When people have money, they know everything's for sale.
That's true.
They know they can buy anything. It's just a matter of what's the price, right? Name your price. Everything's for sale. And so he knew he can have whatever he wants because he has money, and he wanted their vet. So it was just a matter of naming your price. So all of the forces that went in motion to align that guy, the perfect buyer, at the perfect time for that opportunity, that portal to open.
Yeah. That happens all the time. You just have to be willing to be open to receive it when it shows up.
Well, exactly. And there is another part of the story which unfolds in a different way. Do you want me to share it with you?
Yes. You can't start that and not say it.
So, that story could have had a really cool ending, with them kind of, her husband and wife, discussing the price, naming the price right away because the buyer's hot. You don't want to let the buyer cool off. And they could have named their price. Bada boom, bada bing. They could have made the sale and had the money.
Yeah.
But this is why we need to understand the power of our paradigms, because our paradigms are literally controlling our results and keeping us from expanding into greater levels of wealth and prosperity. They said, "We'll think about it." They went home and she had his number. So she was in the driver's seat. He's like, "Call me when you're ready. Just tell me what your price is." She didn't call him back that day. She didn't call him back the next day. I think it was a few days before she called him back. In fact, she didn't even have the confidence to call him back. She texted him back. As a result, he wasn't hot anymore. He lost interest. He moved on. And she didn't sell the car. But this is a perfect example of how, your vision, your impressing your mental image on formless substance is literally putting in motion all of the people and things and places for you to receive that which you desire. And then the moment comes where it's right in front of you. and you don't have the ability to receive it. You don't have the ability to say yes, to take the next step. The science of getting rich is an exact science, and it has nothing to do with math or numbers. It has to do with a lot of other things, mainly your clear mental image of what you want, being able to receive it when it comes to you, and being able to act and think in the certain way. I'll never forget that story because it blew my mind.
Well, I'm just debating on whether to tell this now because it's a little bit okay. Yeah, all right. I might as well. What the hell? I mean, we're here. Just, there's no secrets anymore in my life. If people are on this, they may have seen some stuff going on in my life right now. And I've been praying for an answer. I've been, taking efficient action. I stood up, I stood my ground. I put my big girl panties on. I stepped in my power. And then some beautiful soul decides that they're going to start a GoFundMe to help me with this case that I'm working on. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, like I'm feeling like a charity case. I'm feeling like I usually give help to people. Like I can't receive this help, like in my mind. Now I'm totally grateful. I was grateful. I felt I was grateful, but there must have been a part of me that was on the other side of that stick. Because on one hand, I'm totally grateful. On the other side of that stick, I'm feeling like, I'm such a failure. I didn't do this right. I shouldn't need help from people. I should have planned my life better. I should have, right? So, ladies, the universe is always listening. And so that night I had a call with my bestie and I'm like, please tell me that I need to be in a good receiving mode right now because I'm feeling like I can't receive. The next day, yesterday, this GoFundMe went up. There was like almost $4,000 in it within 12 hours, 24 hours, not even. And then all of a sudden it got taken down. So the link is not working right now. And I was like, oh, universe, like, thank you for showing me so quickly that I need to get on board. I need to get over this paradigm of receiving, right? Like I need to be able to say thank you and just take all the love in. I was fine receiving love and support in words, but when it came to money, I repelled that like a mother. And so the universe is responding and it is saying, you better watch out, my friend, because now there's an issue with the content. It had to go back into a review state and it's been now almost 24 hours and it's been down. And like you said, there was a lot of like that guy was hot. That guy was, wanted it. And so now the momentum of my story is dropping. It's still there. This person has still done what he's done to many people. But at the same time, I recognize that it was my paradigm for receiving that sort of shut that down for a minute. So lesson learned, be careful. Just be careful. We have no understanding of how I speak that I have the understanding, but sometimes I need a knock on the head to go, hello, you really don't understand it. And so if that's the case with receiving people's kindness and them wanting to stand behind me, and their way of doing that was by donating money to this legal case, I'm turning away abundance by my paradigm. And so did this Corvette lady. Like she turned away what she had prayed for because of the receiving paradigm, right? So I took the efficient action. I started something. And then like her, I didn't even have to say it out loud. I didn't even have to say it to the world that I was having trouble with this paradigm. it just in my own mind, the universe is listening and it made it happen. So yes, an instant pivot of how I see things, of what was going on there, and then allowing it to happen, allowing it, and then receiving it. So now I hear you, universe. I hear you.
It's because you are so conscious and aware that you're able to connect the dots. And that's perfect, because some people are walking around in their lives and they're so unconscious that they don't get the messages. They don't receive the lessons. They can't pivot and improve.
Well, yes, exactly. But it's, the feeling part, we're talking about how the feeling is what really sets the universe in motion, or impresses upon formless substance what you are feeling about, not thinking about, right? So my feeling when I initially saw that was so strong, it sent a wave out into the universe. It sent a wave out. And so even though it only took me an hour to go, what the hell, Amy, like, get out of that, like, get your grip, right? Like, that's not the mindset you need to go into this with. That hour that it took me to get to the realization of what was happening, it was already out there. The wheels have been set in motion. Well, we're just going to slow her down a little bit. We're going to make a comment about the description. We're going to make her have to redo it. And then we're going to have to pause this for a minute. So when you get those huge feelings like, oh, like you just got punched in the gut, or this really, I can't do it, or I'm not worthy, or I don't want to let go of that Corvette. Like, it's her baby, right? Even though she prayed to let it go and that was handed to her on a silver platter, you have to be willing to really receive what comes. Yeah. It's such a delicate, powerful game to enter into the spiritual realm when you're talking about money and you're talking about work that you do and the attractions and the relationships and all of it.
Yeah, it really makes you realize how powerful you are.
Yes. I'm like this. Wow, I manifested that in like less than 10 hours. Like, holy shit. What can I do good manifesting? Like, if I can make that happen and it was a somewhat negative reaction, then I know I'm powerful. I've seen this before in my own life. I don't get it through your head. I don't know what we all need, how many times we need to see this in action in our lives, because you and I talk, we're like this, you are not going to believe what happened today. This is so amazing. And the next thing you know, it's like, you're not going to fucking believe what happened today, because that was not amazing, but it happened in equal speed.
Yeah. We are so powerful. We can literally create our reality for our advantage or towards our disadvantage. And so that's why it's really important to be mindful of what you are thinking. It's where it all begins, in the mind.
Yeah.
We
saw that happen.
Oh my gosh. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Isn't it amazing also that every week we've been doing this, there is a personal example within that week or within a certain period of time that we can put these chapters to good example.
Yeah.
I think we're cutting out.
Are we okay?
I think so. I can see big black clouds, and Starlink doesn't like bad weather.
My internet's been giving me a little trouble this morning as well, but I think we're okay now.
Yeah.
By the way, I do just want to mention, because I'm just seeing it now, next week, if you are interested in going deeper into the science of getting rich, I'm going to be doing a free 5-day masterclass, 1 hour a day for 5 days. You can join live. You can watch the replay. I'm going deeper into the science of getting rich so that you can begin to understand it and integrate it in your real life so that you can get real results. This science, when integrated, when applied into your life, it creates results. And I am my best testimonial and best example, because what's been happening to me since January 1, when I've been studying this material and integrating it into my life, is profound. And I am just an ordinary person. I don't have any superpowers. I don't have any more potential than you do. So I highly encourage you to join the free 5-day masterclass in the money code, the Science of Getting Rich Facebook group. And if you're watching this at any point in time, you can ask to join the group and you can watch the whole thing on replay. So it'll be live June 10 to 14, but you can come in anytime, watch the modules, receive the benefit so that you can get results. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be epic. I love that. Amy just put a new banner up that says, "We all have superpowers." Yes, we do. And stop giving it away. Embody it, harness it for your greatest good and for the greatest good of all. That's what it's all about. You know, when I was reading this chapter, I was waiting to get to the part where he addresses the how. He talks a lot about efficient action and how efficient action is how you get results, is how you expand into greater levels of wealth. And then he gets to the part where he touches on the how. So I highlighted it here. He says, the matter turns then on the question whether you can make each separate act a success in itself. And this you can certainly do. You can make each act a success because all power is working with you, and all power cannot fail. Power is at your service, and to make each act efficient, you only have to put power into it. Every action is either strong or weak. And when every action is strong, you are acting in a certain way. That will make you rich. Every act can be made strong and effective by holding your vision while you are doing it and putting the whole power of your faith and purpose into it. So basically, what he's saying is being present while you are doing every act with faith and purpose is putting all power into it and is creating efficient action. You know, you're walking the dog, you're doing the dishes. Where's your mind? What are you thinking? Are you using that time effectively? You could be washing the dishes and using all your power and the supreme power to envision what you desire. And then all power is working with you. And not only are you washing the dishes, but you are being efficient in achieving what you desire, which is your vision that you're constantly going after. You want more. You want to do more and be more and have more. And that desire is praiseworthy. It's normal for you to want more and do more and have more. So that's how you do it. That's how you create efficient action. By being present in the moment, by holding with faith and purpose your vision. And you will get what you want because you are putting in motion all kinds of things that are working on your behalf to present to you that which you desire. And you must be able to receive it when it comes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The goal that we set at any point, any goal that you've set, the C-type goal that you speak about that stretches you and creates growth, is a bit of a finish line, not necessarily ever a full stop finish line, but it's something to work towards. And who is the person that is working towards that goal? Who is that woman? So when you're saying I'm standing at the dishwasher or, in the kitchen cleaning or cooking or walking or driving or anything, how does that woman act when she's in that situation. So to me, an efficient action towards a goal is a step towards the goal. If you answer the question, is this going to take me closer to my goal or further away from my goal? This action, this thought, action or thought really is what it is. Is this person going to get me to the goal that I want to? Not necessarily a money goal or a thing, but like if you want to be a better person and you've been hanging out with a sketchy crowd, probably not going to get you to the place you want to be. So acting as if you are that person in the present moment, like you're saying, in all things that you do, yes, you can't help it. So if your surroundings are not showing the efforts, then you just need to hone in a little more. Maybe you've been distracted. Maybe you're mindlessly doing something. You're not present in the moment. And it's hard because in the earlier chapters, he says, like, being master of your own mind is the hardest job any human can do. Because your mind just wants to take off and your mind wants to have chatter and your mind wants to talk negatively until you get over the hump that isn't even there anymore. It's like, I've got enough evidence. I've got enough power behind me. I recognize the power that I do have and I don't even need to have that chatter anymore. It'll pop up in different ways, but the time between squashing it and hearing it and squashing it will be faster.
Yeah. So do every day all that you can do that day and do each act in an efficient manner.
Preach it, sister.
Sounds like the perfect way to wrap up this episode. Ladies, thanks for joining us. We're going to be diving into chapter 13 next. Getting into the right business. I can't wait to dive into that with you next week, Amy. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, and I'm excited to come and see you this weekend.
Oh my gosh. I am so excited. That is going to be so much fun. Yes. And
Why am I coming? Because the first Science of Getting Rich for Women live in person with Miss Jessica, with the women of Windsor and a little York region. I'm doing a road trip with my bestie and we're going to go hang out with my dad. And then we're going to go to this event and meet amazing people and hear awesome wisdom from you. And I think I'll be talking a little bit about the energy behind branding and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm super excited. This has been like TikTok. When is this happening?
I know. I'm going to have so much to share with you next week, Amy. I'm sure we're both going to have a lot to share, but I am literally living and embodying the Science of Getting Rich. This live event that I am doing for the first time is just the beginning of something that I envision that's going to just expand and blow up and go all over. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so exciting.
Well, I am honored to be at the inaugural live event. And I'm super excited to get up there and see you and hug you because it's been forever. We're 5 hours apart, like 5 hours away from one another. So this was an internet meet, a Facebook meet. Thank you, Facebook, for bringing Jessica into my life. And I'm just super excited to be there. So if you're in the Windsor area, or if you want to hop on the Amy and Kim train to head up to Windsor, give us a call. We're leaving really fast tomorrow.
Oh, we're going to have so much to share next week. I can't wait. And I can't wait to see you, Amy. Thank you so much for joining us and take it away.
Thank you all for joining us today on the Science of Getting Rich for Women podcast. Your presence means the world to us.
Before you go, we have a special request. If you found today's episode enlightening, please take a moment to leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more incredible listeners like yourself.
And don't forget to share this episode with your friends and family who are ready to rise to new levels of prosperity.
Before we sign off, remember to connect with us on Facebook and get yourself a copy of The Science of Getting Rich for Women on Amazon.
As we close out today's episode, remember how powerful you are. Hold strong with faith and purpose that you do get what you want, and watch as the universe conspires to fulfill your dreams.